Greetings all. So Sid Meier's Railroads is a game I basically bought with the other Railroad Tycoon games, basically to revisit some of the old classic titles and to visit this one. I have to say that as the Railroad Tycoons went along after number 2, I guess, number 3 and Railroads here, they weren't that great compared to the first two. I'll note that Sid Meier's Railroads is basically sort of like a remake of the original one, but it's not really all that interesting, to be honest, when I've played it. I'll basically show off what it is, and then you can see what a little bit of it is all about. I'll skip some of these unimportant ones here. That's NVIDIA, that's Railroads. Alright, so everyone's basically open cinematic. Now, I'll note that sort of like gives you an idea of what this game is basically all about. It's like, you know, I guess like an ode to like the old like train collectors who had like little miniature train sets and, you know, formed like little railroads and stuff like that. But I found like the gameplay for this game is very lacking, and we'll just jump into like the first scenario here, Southwest USA. Basically, like, you know, it's got like these old, like, you know, Railroad Tycoon 2 or Railroad Tycoon 3 type of scenarios, so there's no, like, you know, just play as you will and all that. At least, I shouldn't say that. There's, like, you know, these, like, custom multiplayer, like, maps and stuff like that. And I know there's multiplayer in this game, but, yeah, I just didn't really think much of this game, to be honest. It like, you know, it would have been nice if, like, you had, like, you know, like, the old scenarios, like, from, like, the original Railroad Tycoon, where you could have, like, you know, the last railroad standing and, like, you know, basically play as long as you can. But, you know, it's like a mix of, like, you know, everything, like, this way and that way, and it doesn't really do anything right, basically, this game, I think. Now, no probably that you can, like, randomize landscapes, randomize city locations, interesting stuff there. It's got, like, a Ryan difficulty level. I'll get into a little bit about what that's all about. Basically, in like the original like game, if like, you know, you have like trains like on the same track, they have to stop for each other. This one makes it so that if trains basically are blocking each other's way, they'll basically stop and like wait for your train to get out of the way. And if it takes too long, the trains will eventually pass through each other, but on medium difficulty here, or on say easy difficulty, they just, you know, they'll pass through each other. You know, one is the lowest priority, basically being the one that will slow down and allow the air train to pass. Hard basically requires that you have to, you know, plan meticulously how everything goes. You can have like AI players 1 to 3. So let's just jump into it. I'm not going to turn on the AI players because, you know, whatever. And I can see like a little bit like the barons here and all that. To be honest, I think that, you know, it just had like characters in it, like, you know, like the old like railroad barons and robber barons and stuff like that, but it doesn't really go into detail much about them, does it? It's like, you know, you like go into it, it's all about like railroading this game. Anyhow, from sea to shining sea, from the year 1850 and two recent events. The years 1850 and two recent events have changed the shape of the United States forever. The first is that California has joined a growing nation, stretching the country from ocean to ocean. The second is that gold has been found in these new territories. Opportunities for wealth abound for all who are willing to brave the rough terrain. So basically, the map is I'll pause it right now. Is like, you know, the south east of like the United States. You got like Eloy over here. That's apparently where our station is. Phoenix, Arizona. There's Flagstaff and Las Vegas, San Diego, Los Angeles. Anyhow, so basically this game, and I don't know why I can't like zoom out any farther than this. It's basically, you know, a nice looking game and all that, but for like a Railroad Tycoon game, it's really not that great because basically Railroad Tycoon games are all about like managing like trains and stuff like that, and this is more like, you know, sort of like, you know, looking at trains, which is fine, but not really all that, you know, fun to play, to be honest, if you don't really care about trains that much. And that's something like, you know, that's like the appeal of the original game. You have like, you know, lots of like, you know, good looking games. Or, you know, good looking, even it's like, you know, the original ones, but they had like good gameplay before they had like, you know, good looking stuff like this. Alright, we're basically next to Phoenix and Eloy here. Now, I'll note that our first row is basically going to go from here to Eloy to Phoenix. And I'll note that we got like the double track and the single track and, you know, depots and stuff like that. They work a little bit differently. And I'll note that this is actually something I do like about the game. Basically, Eloy here is basically a small little city. There's Phoenix right there. These cities basically have like, you know, like a radius in them. So like, you know, they like everything has like a radius to it. And if you build a depot in that radius, basically you'll be able to get access to it. And, you know, and this is actually something I sort of like about this game. So essentially, like each of like the cities and stuff like that, they don't actually exist on like the train. And if you build like track through them, they'll actually cause like, you know, things to separate, which is like, you know, probably, you know, very good for like a discovery game basically. And this will cost a little bit of money to basically build like so, but whatever, I think we'll do it. Essentially, like, you know, you'll like build like through terrain and stuff like that, so I'll build that right there. And we'll build a depot right there. We're going to build a bit of double track so that my trains basically can, you know, go around and all that. Let's see here. We'll build a double track up to there maybe. You have to basically meticulously plan how this track basically works, and I'll note that this is actually something else about this game. You can't really make errors in this game. It doesn't really allow for errors, this one. We'll build that track right there. Actually, what I can do right now, we're just going to get a simple train to go from Eloy to Phoenix Depot, I think. So we'll just build... Actually, you know what? This is going to have like all this stuff on it, so let's go like this. Now it's not going to be having like, you know, the ability to compete with Phoenix Eloy here, so let's knock off a couple of passengers and a mail. We got ourselves the American here. Basically got like all the classic Railroad Tycoon games, or trains back here. Got like the Grasshopper. Haven't seen that in a while. There's the Norris. There's the American. Changed the priority of them, so this is like a high priority train. That guy'll be right there. So I notice like a lot of stuff is here. It's like streamlined, and that's not actually a bad thing. Like I can go in here. It's like I can build a station. Eventually build a terminal. Let's just get this underway. I know this is a game that's probably played better in real time with other people, which is probably the intended purpose of it, but now I'll have to hit the pause button there. So there's our train basically getting its stuff. It costs, as you can see, money as it goes along, but whatever. We'll go over here to Alloy. We get a little bit of money for all the stuff we just delivered there. It'll basically pick it all up. We're just going to knock off this stuff here. Oops. You only need so much mail in passengers, right? So now note by the way that as like it goes along here, you'll see like this is like just going for the years. You don't have like that daily book that you had in like all the other versions where like you get like a breakdown of like how you're doing like every so often. And time goes by really fast in this one, so it's like month by month by month. Up here you can see the scoreboard for how we're basically doing. Here's a little bit of money to basically do some stuff with. So I got an initial plan here. Let's just build like maybe out to a cow farm, get some cow to basically turn to food to send over here. The Eloy Cow Company and a Phoenix Gold Mine. So I'm thinking essentially I always want to build like a train to basically take like the stuff all the way over here. Might connect these two up actually just to get that done. But let's go like this. We'll basically get it's like you have to plan like how's this gonna like be. It's a little bit more particular than like the original game where it's like you double track stuff and it basically does stuff for you. If we were to connect these two like that. Didn't do that right. You can right click to get rid of like your selected track and stuff like that, which is useful. We'll build that right there. Now I can build bridges and stuff, but very expensive to do so. And that's too sharp, so I can't really build that there. Yeah, it is like all about meticulous planning about how to make it right. I kind of wish that this is like the ore processing, not like the other way around here, but whatever. Let's just build this like this, I think. Or you know what? Let's actually just, fix this perhaps. Let's get rid of this and that piece of line. I'm going to build road over here. And we'll go back over here. Now, at these like industries, you build like annexes, which is sort of an interesting idea. Like you build like a quick little thing just to dump stuff in there. Now I can build like a train to go from here to get cattle, from here to get food, from here to basically get nothing. So we'll basically get like a bunch of livestock. Wait until the train's basically full. Might not just get all of it. We'll get all out of the way. At Phoenix, this will basically turn into food. And then at, Eloy, you'll basically get nothing. Now, note there's like industries and stuff in these things. So right now there's like a food plant, a stockyard in here. So basically just takes grain and cattle, making the food. I can build other stuff in here as well. So that smells ore, blah, blah. Okay, one thing that's happening here is the fact that even though Eloy can take metals and stuff, I'm probably not going to worry about the gold mine company too much because I think it has to go over here basically to drop off the gold because these are like the big cities that need the gold. There's only a small little mine. We're not going to worry about that, I don't think. Well, let's go here, get the cow farm stuff, get that out of the way. Might go over here and do like something similar. Oops, I don't have the money for that. We're actually in debt, I think, so let's let this guy pick up a whole lot of cattle, and you'll basically see this guy, slowly start picking up all the cattle. In many ways, this is like, an old, like, miniature table with train set on it. So what this, I guess, idea of this game's all about. It is a leveler to, like, stuff of people. For those who don't know, basically, miniature train sets, you have, like, stuff like, mines and stuff like that, where you, like, dump the stuff from, the little, like, side pieces into, like, the trains and have, it, little miniature trains run around the set. Cool, very nice. By the way, you're going to be a low priority train, I think. Alright, so yeah, we get these things every so often. Basically, this guy's looking for me to deliver some carloads of oil to him, and I'll basically get a bonus for if I do it. Look at all that stuff. Lots and lots of cattle. Americans aren't actually meant for like hauling cargo like this, but whatever, we'll basically get all that stuff over there. We'll get lots of money for all the cattle. And I was thinking about basically doing something similar over here, perhaps. We'll make like, a grain farm, perhaps, to pick up some of the stuff over here. Build that here, for example. We'll build a train track basically cutting through. And by the way, you can build like tunnels and stuff like that. They'll automatically be put in. Mire uphill, that's okay, I guess. We'll just go build that right there. We're gonna have this basic train join over here. And we'll make another American basically to ship grain cars. There we go, we'll basically get that going. Where are you going? You're the cow company. Okay, that makes sense. This guy's the food guy. So here's our cow basically making over here. We're gonna make you low priority as well. It doesn't really matter when those guys goes first, so. Not sure what happened to this guy there, but whatever. Gonna pick up a bunch of cattle again. And oh, by the way, like the station here basically goes over so often, for so long. I mean, there's stuff to like about this game, but it's just Oh, you know what's happening here? Because Phoenix also needs food, I'm not taking all the food I can from here all the way over to the other place. So this is actually taking the food that I'm getting from here and not taking it down to the other place on me. See, I just like the train stopping for each other because they're basically in the same track there. So it stops right there, goes by. I'm probably going to change this so these guys have like much less, food cars basically carry around. They're not carrying like all the trains, the food cars they can because of the simple fact they can't carry all that much food. Here's the mogul, that'll be good for freight. For these guys, let's change them so that they don't take as many cars for food. Maybe we'll take this 4. Alright, something else to note by the way is that you can still buy industries and stuff like that. You can't like buy like, the cornfields and stuff like that, but you can't buy like, the industries inside cities. So there's like a food plant and a stockyard in here. Let's try and bid for the stockyard. We're making lots of money from that. And while we're basically getting that bidding going underway, let's start thinking about connecting to Yuma here. Yuma basically wants us to basically connect, oil to it. So here's like an oil right there. And we can possibly do that for it, I think. I feel let's go with this one right here. So let's just get... Now, oh boy, if I look at victory conditions, you basically see stuff like this here. So I know that you have to basically have it so all track connects to each other in this one. Just how it basically goes in this one. We're just going to have the train go like this, I think. You know, basic train track. We'll make it as cheap as possible. I don't really need to... Trains be expensive here. So build that like that. Grapes over there. Alright, I had to edit something out. But anyways, basically, we're going to have to connect our track. We basically have the old rim right here. We'll have, like, connect the Yuma over here. After, I'll probably get Yuma to basically connect to its own thing over there. Let's just get... So nobody's going to produce manufactured goods. I'm probably going to make those manufactured goods go all the way over to San Diego when I get the chance, so... We'll build that right there. Build that right there. We'll get a simple train to go from here. And... By the way, this is going to be a mogul right here, so it's going to take 6 like of those cars. Over here. There's me bidding on this stuff right here, by the way, so... On the way, because it's a multiplayer, you have like these bids, so you can actually bid on auctions. And everyone gets a chance basically to bid once it basically starts being done, so... There's this bidding on basically the stockyard. Once I basically own that stockyard, I will get money whenever, stuff gets delivered there. After it's just basically done, I can buy the other one. There we go, we basically now own the stockyard. If I go here, I can go to the food plant. Start buying it. Let's close that, I don't really care what the bid at this point. You can see who's basically currently bidding on it, over here, so if you're playing multiplayer, you can see who's bidding on it or not. Actually make some good money right there. Yeah, let's try and figure out how much this is going to cost. It's going to cost me... I can build this right now if I want to. Let's go... like this. And we can go like this. There's a patent. Every so often you'll see like patents pop up that basically help out stuff. So it has the cost of building tunnels. That's very good to get, obviously. I'll place a bid for it. This guy's making manufactured goods. I want to go... take some of those manufactured goods to San Diego. Just give me a warning because I haven't actually built the train station over here to actually deliver it to, so I have to get that underway. Let's build that right there. Go back to this guy right here, change it so that he can go to San Diego and drop off his goods. Why, you can build... get some passengers and stuff coming from San Diego, I guess. Probably should actually make it go back to Yuma here first, so clear that. There we go. I'll note the annexes don't actually accept anything, so they just basically, give you goods to sell, and then that's it. We're probably gonna focus on. Now I could make another track going all the way over to Yuma here for a passenger train, but something you can basically do is you can actually have these trains basically have shared track like this. And I'll go on the same train and then basically there's a passenger train and the freight train. And I can just go like this. You're a high priority train. So oil gets delivered to Yuma. Yuma takes manufactured goods over to San Diego. We take more stuff back over here. And I'll probably want to make this into a station when I get the chance. Maybe buy the refinery in there. And I got reward because I got the money there, so lots of money. Cash sensitive. There's this train coming. It'll basically go to a track here, jump in. And one of them stops because, they're sharing the same line. Once this guy gets across the bridge over here, this guy will start moving again. We'll start building this refinery. Now notice, by the way, that basically the cities will move out of the way for your track, and that is actually something I like about this game. I mean, there is some good aspects to this game. Let's get a terminal there because I haven't yet done that. Mayor Blissless Railway. Basically, these guys want grapes. Bliff is over here somewhere. Right there, I guess. The volume increases as new territories are annexed, so every so often you'll get little papers telling you about stuff that's happening in the world. There we go, we're going to drop this stuff over here. Alright, we're making good money. So Bliff over here basically wants to get grapes. I'll note that Bliff is basically a small little village, so it doesn't actually have any passengers or stuff on it, but it still takes stuff, which is an interesting way of it can still eventually it's to grow it back, I guess, but for now we can basically make it so it just takes grapes and gets wine. We can take that wine to whoever needs to take it over here. This guy's a power plant, so I may want to get a quick little train just to make a power plant run for his thing. Oh, that's gold, actually. Gold is a little bit different than ore. So that's a gold mine. That's a gold mine. Interesting enough, there's a smelter in Bliff. So I could, like, you know, process gold here and then take it to Los Angeles or San Diego to get money from it. On those, this power plant, it takes like certain things to it, so let's go over here perhaps. I'll try to show it off. Basically, you can buy industries much like you know you could in the old game, but they're like for cities basically. So I could buy like a farmery, and food plant, stockyard, winery, smelter, power plant. Okay, power plants basically demand oil. So if I get oil, basically this guy will take it for the power plant, but I won't actually produce any goods for it. Alright, what we're going to do here, I want to basically get like the ore and other stuff for Bliff, I think, so let's get ourselves a track basically to do that. I'm thinking here. I'll note by some like reappropriate sound effects, so you'll hear like, you know, say the Sid like sound effect right there, if like, you know, when he cancels something you can't like do it, or fail, you know, basically it says no, you can't do this. I'm gonna build that right there, I think. These are for like, you know, up here, but we'll get that right there. You can go up like this. The Bliff. Yeah, I can build an annex right there. Let's build that right there, and then we'll just keep building a track like so. Now, I think like these games that they're supposed to be relaxing, and you know this is a relaxing game. If like you can get past like some of like the issues that it has. So like we'll go to San Diego here. We'll get some gold mine. We'll get that many. Take the gold. For some reason, it's not letting me go there, so I have to go figure out what's going on here. Basically, you know, it's issues like this, like, you know, is there something like around the track I made? What's the issue is the thing. Maybe it's this. Let's see if I get like, you know, gold here. So yeah, it's basically, you can only have like, you know, so many annexes at the depot there, so. Go like that. Clear it. Gold. Smelt gold. Take it here. So that's basically what route's going to be here all about. I'm not sure I like the fact there's only like 4 stops here, because it basically means not all the trains will be able to, you know, do what they need to. But whatever, let's get this underway. Now this guy wants grapes, but basically, like, you know, I went this way just because, you know, this is on the way to it, and then I'll move the track over here. There's their gold basically getting all the way up to here to Bliff. Probably want to upgrade this for the stuff that's going to be coming to it, so let's get it underway. Buy that smelter. And yeah, once you get like, you know, more powerful and like that, you'll basically still like Railroad Master and create industrial empire. They're saying adversaries to me basically. Looks like this guy only has 1 gold, so I think there's like a delay on like, you know, how fast this stuff basically gets done sometimes over here. Maybe. Or maybe you don't get like, you know, an equal amount of like, you know, gold to, you know, the ore that's smelted and stuff like that. No, it's basically like point of time, so it's basically a slow demand type of thing. Oh, LA apparently grown to a city, so over here this thing's now bigger. So you have like, you know, things will grow over time. Basically this is now a bigger city. Because my railroad basically doing its stuff with it. Alright, let's get this to... Yeah, I figure how it is, like, you only have, like, so many of these, like, you know, spots in for a train, so... Once it has, like, 4, it doesn't get you anymore. So let's get rid of that. We'll have to make do with, like, the 4 there for San Diego. Oh, well. Let's, merge these tracks, I guess. I'm gonna have like, you know, a train basically go around here if I need to, so. Local prospector his Peter apparently. Good for him. Let's get this stuff to basically merge like this. Now basically building into stuff like this where like, you know, there's like multiple tracks going by because we're going to be basically having our train going by it. And it's like the thing, this is a game like, you know, about meticulous planning, sort of. Which is not really what you expect from like a Railroad Tycoon game. Usually like they have, it's like you have to have routes, but they weren't as meticulous as this. And let's build this like this. Oh, we got the 10-wheeler, so it's apparently in play. And it's like the things, like, you know, it's kind of hard sometimes managing a track because, like, you have to, like, do everything and anything to basically make it work sometimes. Let's do that right there. There. Got that right. Yeah, I'm making lots of money at this point. I'll note that like on harder difficulties this is a little bit slower, but you know, I'm playing on an easier difficulty just to sort of show off everything. We'll have that go from there. Build 10 wheel, it'll be a low priority. You're gonna ferret grapes, of which there is quite a bit of grapes. You can actually make these guys wait till they're full loads if you want to, so that's a thing you can do. I haven't really needed to because like they've pretty much always been full loads, but whatever. That's not what I want. Get the wine. Deliver sip wine over here. But you get the basic gist of what the game's all about. Like, you know, you can buy industries like you could in like the old games. Basically like a simplified format in many ways of like, you know, the old Railroad Tycoon games. And I like some of the simplification. Like, I like the fact, like, you know, you have like the annexes here for like the industries, and like you have sort of like this, like, you know, you can go through the cities, like, you know, you don't have to have to like, you know, plan meticulously like tearing stuff down. It'll basically automatically do that for you. But at the same time, like, you know, it lost like some, it's like, you know, stuff to it, I guess. And by the way, if I want to, I can like buy stocks and stuff like that. So if I want to go in here, I could buy a bunch of stocks. Bought some stocks there. I'll note that this is like sort of the old way of buying stocks. Like, you know, in Railroad Tycoon, like 1, your money for your company is basically used to buy your own stock. So basically, I purchased 10% of my shares are available for purchase. Buy some more stock mine there if I want to. Drive up the price, but right? Apparently, the most successful person in Southwest. Cool. See, there's like my net worth. There's like the money. My company owns all my stock. Like, there's like no distinction between like, you know, the actual mogul and like the company in this one, basically. So it's very simplified in that form of thing. And there's something that went wrong right there. Well, whatever. You get the basic idea of like how the game sort of works. Just like, you know, I find like, you know, the Railroad Tycoon like 2 and 3 perhaps did a better job in some ways. Or even Railroad Tycoon 1. Basically, I don't like the fact they have to like do like all this like, you know, routing for like your trains. I'd rather like, you know, be like the simple like, you know, double track it and maybe have like little lines like it to separate like they did in like the original Railroad 1. But I do like the fact they have like, you know, these like, you know, annexes for stuff like you just like, you know, send it out there, you build like the annex, that's all it needs to do. Now note boy, if I want to retire, is it retire right here? It's got like the old, like, you know, upon retirement, you embark on your career type of thing. So here's my score down there. I basically did all that stuff. All things like a D. But that's basically Railroads from Sid Meier's. The game, like, you know, it's not exactly a bad game. It's like, you know, it's basically not one that I recommend, like, you know, for like playing, but it's got some nice ideas to it. And it's like, you know, a haul back to like, you know, the old miniature sets and stuff like that. But for like a game to play, it's not that fun, I find. So whatever. There's Railroads. It's done.